Alright guys, this is Siraz, and this is game 2 of this best of 3 between oGsSKS, the Protoss player, and oGsTheSTC, the Terran player. So if you did not watch game 1, I advise you go do that before you watch this game. And I'll have a link to that in the comment, or in the, what is it, more information about this. I don't know what that little section is called, but I'll put a link in it to game 1 of this best of 3. So I suggest you watch that before you watch this game. And I'm going to spoil what the first game, the results of the first game was, so you're going to have 10 seconds to close this down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright, if you didn't close it by now, it's your own fault that you got spoiled. And oGsTheSTC did win round 1 with a very decisive Tank Marine Banshee Raven army. And so we'll have to see how oGsSKS decides to change his play around to try and turn this series around. He did have a very nice early Zealot attack, which did give him a little bit of an early lead, but he just could not capitalize on that. And the STC managed to turn the game around pretty convincingly. So it looks like, once again, pretty standard build coming from both players. And this probe is coming in to harass again, trying to stop that barracks from going up. The STC, once again, not walling off. Interesting choice, but he does have this cool SimCity going, so I actually really like this placement. This barracks pretty much blocks any sort of unit from sneaking behind the mineral line and doing any sort of harass. And that's a pretty good positioning. I mean, he could put like a bunker right here and be pretty safe, or even just put a bunker at his opening there. And we're seeing the same sort of play. We got this single Marine, then we see a transition into a tech lab on the barracks, and we'll have to see what he does after that. Last game he did get a Reaper, so we'll have to see if he gets another Reaper. Still has not scouted the Protoss player's base. Protoss player playing standard as well, though, getting that cybernetics core, putting up actually a really early second gas, so we might see some sort of tech here. And the Terran player, really early second gas. So very fast gas from both players. And this tech lab being used on the factory once again, so did not go for a Reaper at all, just going to go lift off that barracks and then just go straight for a tech lab, and actually going for a reactor on the barracks this time. Kind of interesting choice. Maybe he's not going to put down a second barracks and just pump out Marines from one. So I'm expecting a similar sort of attack coming out from the Terran player, but I think we're going to see a Stargate from the Protoss player. I'm wrong. That's my goofy noise, I guess. But, yeah, I guess we're going to see a similar play from SSKS as well. Why I was thinking that was just because he had such an early double gas, and he had this pylon hitting here to proxy something. I thought for sure we were going to see a Stargate. But looks like I was wrong. And once again, we're going to see a very similar style of play. The STC moving out with a siege tank, just adding it to his defense, putting it in this corner so it can shoot at any sort of unit that is attacking. And a probe actually chasing off the poor SCV at this watchtower. A couple more tanks in the way as well, this starport. So yeah, I really do expect a very similar build. It would probably be pretty effective considering they did spawn in the close air positions. So air is pretty good on Metalopolis when you are fighting in these positions. I really like this pylon placement though by SSKS. It's going to allow him to see any sort of air threat pretty early. And the observer's out to go do some scouting and figure out what's going on. No tech lab on the starport there. A probe trying to poke in here, but getting taken out by the bunker. What do we got going over here? 3 stalkers and a Sentry, I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Sentry thinking about moving out, but I don't think they can really fight against this force. I mean, that's 2 tanks very good against Stalkers, plus a number of Marines to kind of tank, so I don't think we would want to fight there. Starport did move to an odd position. Okay, here's what's going on. They're going to do a little switch here. Oh, this is interesting. So we're going to see some Hellions come out from the factory. We're going to see some Banshees from the Starport. And, oh, is this tank going to get taken out? Oh, bad positioning by the STC. That kind of sucks. Oh, you know, this would have been a really cool attack, though. He had this barracks to spot, and he could have taken that out. It just so happened that there was an observer there to scout exactly what was going on. And now these Stalkers are going to pick off a ton of Marines as the STC is scrambling to get away with his force. But he really does not have very much here, and I think this is a very bad position for him. STC looks like he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He needs to get some units to repair, needs to pull that tank back, and needs to hold, but it looks like the SSKS might just consider running by. Oh, nope, but he has a nice Guardian shield going down to help mitigate the Marine fire, and here we go. He is just going to run around this bunker, I think. No, I'm really surprised he's tanked it for as long as he has, and there we go, and now the SSKS, or the STC does not have the forces he needs, being forced to pull quite a large number of SCVs, and even still, I think he's going to lose this battle. Oh, and this is not looking good for the STC at all. Trying to scramble to get out some more units, trying to get out these Banshees. Oh, we do have a Banshee in the base, 2 Banshees in the base of the SSKS. Oh, 1 Banshee, just kidding. I don't know why I thought there was a second Banshee. Trying his best to kill probes, forcing this army back, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Maybe he'll be able to defend right here, especially if he repairs this Banshee, but look at how many workers are going down. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to kill this last Stalker, no problem, but now he's going to be at such a huge deficit. 13 to 33 workers. Oh, that hurts. And I'm going to be amazed if the STC can turn this game around. I mean, he has not much. He has 3 Hellions and 2 Banshees. So it's going to take some godlike harass here to turn this game around. He's going to have to roast so many drones that, oh, it's going to be, he's going to have to play amazing here. We do have this Immortal down here. Oh, and why are you going for the main? I think that's a mistake. I think, well, I don't know. What am I to say? Oh, and actually getting trapped by a force field. Not looking good for these Hellions. Banshee's trying to poke in here. They do have Cloak, but only 1. Oh, but we do have an Observer. 2 Observers over here to spot them. So they're not going to be too effective. The Hellions did go down. We also have this Warp Prism. So we are going to see some sort of drop going on very soon. And I think once that starts happening, it's going to be very hard for the STC to even hang on and stick in this game. We do have that second Starport up. Just going for quite a... Ooh, and even a Viking. So I think he did see that Warp Prism and wanted to take it out before it actually dropped. But it is here already. Going to get a ton of units warped in. And really, the STC knows he cannot defend it, and there's the GG. And so now the series is 1-1, both players winning a game, and it will go on to the last game, so we'll have to see who is a better player, the STC or SSKS.